life, the choices we make are important, which is why if you're standing behind me in line, you are gonna have to wait while I decide if I want whipped cream on my pumpkin spice latte or not. But where my PSL decision will make a profound difference to the rest of my day, occasionally a game gives us a choice that only seems to be meaningful, when in actual fact, picking one thing over the other makes no material difference in the end whatsoever. Don't believe me? Well, check these out. And if you'd like to contribute to my fund for extravagant seasonal lattes, then go to patreon.com/oxclub. And also beware spoilers for these games.
Done. Okay. Oh.
Finish it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's probably too long and full of typos, but that's what editors are for, right? God, I'm starving.
Like the Uncharted games that preceded it, Uncharted 4 is a swashbuckling tale of high adventure filled with treasure, pirates, and Nathan Drake falling off things. More like Uncharted Floor, am I right? Because he's always falling onto the... Let's just keep going. Anyway, Uncharted 4 isn't just thrilling action, as we see from Chapter 4, A Normal Life. Here the game is keen to show us Nathan and his wife Elena's mundane domestic life when they're not raiding tombs in temples of doom, and apparently it involves a lot of Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Is there a problem?
No, just, how do you make it go?
We also control Nate as he goes to fetch dinner, and as you pass the refrigerator in the kitchen, you've the option to open it and choose a beverage to accompany your meal.
Hey, would you mind grabbing the food? I'm wrapping up here.
Oh, yeah, sure thing.
There are two choices. You can either grab a soda from the top shelf or a beer from the bottom shelf. And if you're as paranoid as we are when it comes to video game choices, you surely came to the same conclusion we did. This is a decision that will have huge consequences for the rest of the game. Maybe if we pick the beer, Nate will get drunk, and then when bandits come rappelling through the window in 5 minutes, he won't be able to aim properly. Maybe the caffeine in the soda will make him more alert, and then he'll be able to spot the intruders faster. Or will it keep him awake and he'll have a bad night's sleep and then be cranky and bad at jumping tomorrow? Hey, it could happen. Anyway, don't worry past us, because turns out that this decision means absolutely nothing. Picking the beer doesn't make Nate stagger sideways into the wall and die, nor does drinking the soda spike his heart rate and cause him to suffer debilitating palpitations. Although if anyone asks, I'm using that to explain why I'm doing so badly at Crash Bandicoot.
It's like a fox in jeans.
Okay, smash.
Ow! Oh, that had to hurt.
It did probably hurt.
So why do you keep playing this?
Riley said he saw the bat. Is he here too?
In Arkham City? Why would he come here? You guys just need to chill the hell out.
It's Batman!
What the hell?
Sorry to disappoint you boys. It's just little old me.
The world of Batman is littered with poor decisions. For example, Batman's decision to take on Bane in a fistfight, or whoever's decision it was to greenlight the 1997 movie Batman and Robin. Batman Arkham City, however, allowed you to make a poor decision all of your own. During the Catwoman DLC pack that was included with new copies of the game on release, you played the Catwoman herself, a saucy cat burglar who can't help flirting, even when she's the only person around.
I need to get my kit from my apartment. No way I can face Ivy without my things. I'd be naked without them.
Catwoman controls slightly differently from Bats, and naturally, as a cat burglar, she has her own objective, which is breaking into antagonist Hugo Strange's high-security vault and stealing a couple of briefcases of valuables.
So what next? Help tall, brooding, and handsome? Or help myself do all the loot Professor Strange has locked up in that vault of his?
This plan would go off entirely without a hitch were it not for the fact that nearby at the steel mill, Bats is receiving the mother of all off-screen ownings just as you're about to escape with all the loot.
All units, we have visual confirmation. The steel mill is hit. Batman is down. I repeat, Batman is down.
Who's controlling Batman while I'm busy playing these Catwoman bits? Because they're doing a terrible job. You're then shown an image of Batman trapped from the waist down by concrete and rebar and presented with a binary choice.
You can do it. Just walk right out of here and leave him. It's easy. You'll never forgive yourself, Selina. Save Batman, then get out of here.
What you're supposed to do, obviously, is choose to save the alleged hero of this story so that you can go on and play the rest of this Batman game that you paid $60 for as actual Batman.
Figured you could use my help.
You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there.
But if you're feeling contrary, you can instead choose to flee with all the loot, rationalizing perfectly reasonably that Batman is a highly resourced billionaire vigilante who probably has something on his utility belt to escape this exact scenario.
Screw him.
Except, then the credits roll accompanied by a frantic broadcast from Oracle.
Joker's won. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's won. There's nothing we can do.
Seriously, does he not have, like, exploding bat trousers?
Bruce is dead. He's gone. They're all gone.
Huh. Well, I guess that's a no on the exploding bat trousers. Anyway, that's totally irrelevant because the game has the audacity to overrule your decision and then make you pick again. But you know, do it properly this time. This it achieves by rewinding the sequence as if you're playing this relatively modern high-definition video game on a ropey old video cassette player you found in your parents' attic.
Batman is down. I repeat, Batman is down.
If I rewind a copy of Batman and Robin on VHS, will that also make it so that never happened? Please say yes.
My thanks, friend. I'm going to see Mr. Srani now.
Elden Ring is full of fun NPCs for you to meet and spend time with, such as the loathsome Dung Eater. Guess what he does?
I will kill you and devour your corpse.
If you said he eats dung, then partial credit. As such, you're probably automatically a bit wary of any Elden Ring NPCs you come across during your time in the Lands Between, let alone one that is dressed like a giant terrifying wolf. Or possibly who is a giant terrifying wolf.
Half-wolf.
I'm still a little unclear on this point. Anyway, this is Blythe, an Elden Ring NPC that you first encounter when you hear his distinctive howl and are given a gesture by a merchant, which when used, causes him to drop down and introduce himself. Before long, Blythe has managed to get himself locked up in an Everjail, one of the impenetrable mystical prisons that are dotted around the Elden Ring map by the blacksmith Iji. Iji has recognised that Blythe is a bit weird about the character Rani, a powerful witch and quest giver, to the point where it's probably a good idea if Wolf Boy spends the rest of eternity under a big stone disc.
Oh, it's you. It's me, Blythe. Old E.G. trapped me here. Told me I'd bring naught but bail to Lady Rani. But there's no chance that could happen. I'm part of a being. A very shadow.
Anyway, chatting to Blythe here gives you the option to either release him or leave him to languish in jail, a decision that definitely seems like it's going to have some pretty major consequences. Except it doesn't. At all! If you free Blythe, he shows up later outside Rani's place and attacks you.
No. I'm part of a very being. I could never betray her, no matter what might happen.
If you don't free Blythe, he, you guessed it, shows up later outside Rani's place and attacks you. I guess someone else let him out of jail off camera, or he escaped, or the programmers forgot that it was supposed to be a choice. Either way, thanks Elden Ring, now we've got to fight a giant terrifying wolf.
Half-wolf.
Alright, let's hope he only half kills me.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
For the uninitiated, the Stanley Parable is a game in which you walk around an office while an ever-present voice in your head spends the whole time making you feel vaguely inferior, thus making it the most accurate office job simulator ever made.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There are many different endings in the Stanley Parable. Some of the endings are tragic.
Happily ever after.
Some of the endings are bizarre.
Art itself is about to burrow into your skull.
But the ending we're talking about today is known as the apartment ending, and it is attained by ignoring the narrator, taking a cargo lift across the warehouse, and then answering the phone you find there. This nets you one of the game's crueler endings, in which the narrator pretends that your character's wife is calling to them before revealing that it was him.
I want you to come in and tell me all about
your day. Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
And then the narrator demonstrates just how little free will you have by making you press a series of buttons while the apartment you're in slowly transforms back into Stanley's office.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Towards the end of this ending, the narrator tells you to not press a button, while a prompt flashes up on screen.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Now we have a choice. Do we hold out and not press it, or press it anyway? Can we not press the button to prove that we have free will and don't just do whatever we're told? Will this lead to a new, happier ending? The answer, as you've probably guessed from the title of this video, is no, we can't. It's not even a choice, really. You either press the button and the ending continues, or you don't press the button and sit there until the sun consumes the Earth in 7 billion years. Which I suppose counts as another ending? Interesting. Better add that one to the wiki, Stanley Parable fans.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Deadly Premonition is what you'd get if a Japanese studio developed a game based on poorly translated TV guide reviews of Twin Peaks. In it, you play as Francis York Morgan, an FBI agent investigating deaths linked to a mysterious murderer known as the Raincoat Killer, which he does by going around being weird and chatting to his imaginary friend Zach.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986, directed by John Hughes. That one was so 80s.
We don't really have time to go into the extremely convoluted and willfully obtuse plot of Deadly Premonition because this video isn't 4 hours long, but for the purposes of this list, you need to know that by the end of the game, the person revealed to be the killer, Forrest Kaysen, has planted a tree inside the town's deputy sheriff Emily Wyatt, and the trauma of this has caused Morgan to switch places with Zach, who was actually his original identity.
I remember. I traded places with York.
Deadly Premonition said, "Twin Peaks, hold my beer." Or hold my coffee, I guess. Anyway, at this point in the game, with the killer in front of you, Emily with a tree in her, and a gun in your hand, you're given a choice. Do you shoot Kaysen, or Emily, or yourself? It certainly seems like an important moment. I mean, any one of these options is a pivotal choice that will change the entire rest of the game, you'd imagine. Well, you'd imagine wrong, because they don't. Shoot the killer, and it turns out he's impervious to bullets, and then you're teleported to the game's equivalent of the Red Room from Twin Peaks, where your alternate personality tells you you picked the wrong option, dummy. Try again.
Zach.
Returning to the choice, you may then decide to turn the gun on yourself and see if that's the right option.
Emily, I can't shoot you. Like father, like son, taking the same path.
Wrong again! Back to the Red Room for another talking to about how Emily is the right option, so do that one, idiot.
Zach. Don't give up. Think carefully.
And then when you do pick the option to shoot Emily, your character doesn't even go through with it. Wait, so all three were the wrong option? Ah, I get it. Very David Lynch, which I understand.
When you actually think about it, most JRPG characters should be in jail on account of all the killing and stealing, and to be honest, most of their haircuts. So it's unsurprising when Chrono, the character you play as in SNES RPG Chrono Trigger, is hauled before the judge, although he's there to answer a charge of kidnapping the king's daughter, a crime he actually didn't do. Your fate in this trial is mostly decided by your actions in the town in the hours beforehand. You can garner sympathy from the court by doing such heroic things as not eating a guy's lunch. However, you will also be cross-examined in the trial when you need to decide whether to A, give truthful answers, or B, lie, for a better chance of being found not guilty. As with all trials, this can go one of two ways. You can either mess it up to varying degrees and be found guilty, or nail it and be found not guilty. Regardless of the trial verdict though, whether it is guilty or not guilty, the outcome is literally the same. You're thrown into solitary confinement to await execution. Oh man, if I'd known, I definitely would have eaten that guy's lunch. I bet it was delicious.
We've spoken before in lists like this about the early seasons of Telltale's The Walking Dead. Those games had a nice line enforcing you to make difficult choices about who should live and who should die. And often those difficult choices would be followed by having your chosen survivor also die like 20 minutes later, rendering the whole exercise pointless.
What the f***'s the problem?
For a real humdinger of a pointless choice, however, we look to the very end of the game's final season, where in an inversion of the game's first season, Clementine, the young girl who was a daughter figure to original playable character Lee, is now herself a parental figure to a young survivor, Alvin Jr., otherwise known as AJ.
Hey, I love you. Don't ever forget that.
Anyone who's played Season 1 of The Walking Dead will see where this is going a mile off. So yes, in a parallel to Lee's story with Clementine, Clementine gets bitten in the leg by a zombie. She ends up having to make the unthinkable choice. Should she tell AJ to kill her, or ask him to let her live?
AJ, you have to kill me.
If you tell AJ to kill you, he tearfully raises the axe, and the screen cuts to black. If you ask him to leave you, he says, "No, actually," turns around, tearfully raises the axe, and the screen cuts to black. And then to completely undercut the emotion of all of that, we find out that AJ just cut off Clem's leg, and she's otherwise fine actually, so none of that mattered in the slightest.
Whoa, easy there.
What the hell, The Walking Dead? I cut off Lee's arm in Season 1, and he still died.
My arm's on fire. I can still feel my fingers. Holy hell. Oh, this hurts more than you can believe.
Now how am I supposed to know if cutting someone's limbs off is a good or bad thing? By figuring it out myself? Not likely.
You're out of bed. You're walking. And you have wood arm legs.
Crutches.
Crutches.
Thank you so much for watching this video about the 7 pointless choices that in the end didn't really make a difference, but you, friend, you can make a difference by watching this list from Outside Xbox, which is like this one, but even better, or this list from Outside Extra, which is also extremely good, or you can make a difference by contributing to the Jane Seasonal Latte Fund, also known as the Patreon at patreon.com/OXClub, and speaking of, a little light on the whipped cream.
Say when.
I will.